Hi there, it's Anne of Rosie Duck Designs here. Thanks ever so much for joining me today. I'm back as promised to talk about the new style Distinctive Stamp Sets. Now, we were first introduced to these new style stamp sets back at the beginning of the year during Celebration, when we had the gorgeous Heartfelt Blooms stamp set as part of the Celebration items that you could buy. I have to say it was a personal favourite of mine, and I was really sad that I only got to use it for a couple of months of the year. But I was really pleased to see that when the new catalogue came out, there's actually 5 of these new style stamp sets available. I'll just show those to you. They're highlighted on the back page of the catalogue, but I'll just show you in the actual catalogue itself. So the first one is Seize the Day. The next one is Polka Dots. I think that's how you say that. The third one is All Good Things. There's one that's called Stylish Christmas. And finally, Healing Hugs, which is the one that I'm going to feature today. Probably no surprise because, as I mentioned, I love the Heartfelt Blooms stamp set. So this reminded me of that. So when I saw this in the catalogue, I was, yeah, I've got to have that. So that is here. What I will just say before we start discussing that stamp set is what makes Distinctive Stamp Sets different from others. Now, I'm not going to try and remember this, I'm going to read it straight out of the catalogue. And it says there that it adds monochromatic dimension and artistic flair to your stamping. And also on a YouTube video of Stampin Up, it highlighted the fact that they are photorealistic. They produce photorealistic style images, and the actual stamps are made with a special texture that gives a lot of depth and dimension. So that's the technical stuff about it. When I saw this, as I say, because I love the Heartfelt Blooms stamp set, I was taken with this. One thing did strike me, that it's all the sentiments relate to get well and wishing you a complete recovery. Almost made me sort of think, actually, do I really want it? Because, yeah, of course we need get well cards, but I didn't necessarily think I needed a whole load of different sentiments. So it could put you off, but what I'm going to say to you is don't let it, because seriously, this does not have to just relate to a get well card. I can honestly say I've had this ever since the catalogue came out, and I haven't made one get well card with it. Of course, that's really good that I haven't needed a get well card, but what I'm trying to say is I've used this an awful lot, which if you follow my Facebook page, you probably would have noticed. And as I say, there's no get well card amongst it. If you've been crafting for a number of years, then you will have a number of sentiments available throughout your collection. If you're new to it, then what I would recommend is that you go through the catalogue and perhaps treat yourself to one or more stamp sets that actually feature sentiments. Now, we're all different, we all make cards for different reasons, for different occasions, so what suits me isn't necessarily going to suit you. But I can highlight some of the stamp sets I use a lot of the time. I seem to have lost one. Oh, it's up there. Okay, so the first one is Daisy Delight. Now, there's not many sentiments on here, but I do make a lot of thank you cards, and I just love this font of this thank you. It's really bold and stands out, and I'll show you that on a card later on in the video. These are also nice little sentiments as well. Thank you for your kindness, your thoughtfulness brightened my day. There's also this one, which is Better Together. There's 2 stamp sets there. covers a number of occasions, to weddings, new arrivals, just if you want to send a note to somebody. I love this one actually, hello, let's talk soon. That's great if you're sending a card to somebody you don't see very often. So I use that quite a bit. The one I use a lot as well is this one, Banners for You. Again, these are sentiments that I use a lot of the time. I don't always use them in conjunction with the banner stamps, although that's exactly what you can do with them. So you can, or you don't have to, it's up to you. And there's another one which, excuse me a moment, bizarrely put it up there for some reason. It's this one. It was in the catalogue last year, totally passed me by, as I think I've mentioned in previous videos. I found it this year, and since I've had it, I use it all the time. Some great sentiments for the sort of cards that I make. But again, very personal, so if it's something you're lacking in your collection, then do have a look through the catalogue and see what you can find. So back to this one, Healing Hugs. Now the two distinctive stamps in this set are the rose and the leaf. All these are, as usual, the normal stamp sets that we're used to. So if we have a look at that, we've got, this is a normal one. Hoping the camera's going to pick this up. So that's a standard leaf stamp. This is the distinctive rose stamp and the distinctive leaf stamp. Now looking at that, I don't know if how much this is going to show up, but when you look at it, you could be forgiven for thinking that you're not going to get any detail from that when you stamp it. In reality, you do. I'm going to leave that one out because I'm going to use that one in a moment and save a bit of time. Let me show you a card I made together with its envelope. And there you go, you've got the depth, different depth of the image there with the rose. Just to run you through the card, the card base is Whisper White, and this bit here is Blackberry Bliss. This is a piece of the Nature's Poem DSP, designer series paper, and then I've got a piece of Whisper White on top here, and I've used Grapefruit Grove and Blackberry Bliss, which are the two colours that are featured here on the designer series paper. So unusual colouring, but yeah, I was quite pleased with that. And again, you can full stamp, like first stamp, or stamp off to give you this little bit of or a paler image. Unusually for me, no Wink of Stella, but I can promise that that doesn't last. I made a few cards without it, and they really work, but it does work with Wink of Stella, so it had to be done. So that's that one. There's the envelope, it gives you a better look at the different colours. Grapefruit Grove is a really lovely colour, love that. So, oh, and these are a couple of little note cards that I've made. And probably won't pick that up, but these do have Wink of Stella on them. Don't know if the light catches them. But anyway, and they are going to go in this little pizza box as a little set of note cards. And you can see the rose there has been stamped just on a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and then I've fussy cut around that and then just attach that to the box with the Stampin Dimensionals. So I'm just going to have a go at stamping this little card. So this, I think I mentioned in the last video I made about the 3x3 little mini envelopes that are available. They are £8.75 and you get 40 of them. These are brilliant because they make really little cute gift cards, or envelopes for gift cards. You make the cards up yourself. Now on this I've used Whisper White 6x3, scored at 3 on the long side, folded, and that's your base card. That's your base card. On here I've stuck a piece of Nature's Poem Designer Series paper, and that is cut at 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Now this is the Blackberry Bliss and Petal Pink, and they're the two colours that feature on that. So they are the colours I've featured on the centre of the card. So I've cut a piece of Petal Pink, and that is at 2.5 by 2.5, and that's the piece that I'm going to stamp on. So taking my stamp, this is a red rubber stamp. Now you've got a choice when you get your stamp set with these. You can have them wood mounted. I prefer to have a stamp that I can put on an acrylic block so I can see what I'm doing. You don't have to add this piece, so you don't have to add this bit onto the sticky surface of the stamp. Obviously if you don't, then the stamp will stick easier to the block, but personally I prefer to see what I'm stamping. But that can cause a bit of a problem with the adhesion of that to the block. I get round that by using a little smidge of basic lip salve. Any make will do. That's a very cheap tube that I got in a well-known drugstore. So it's nice and secure on there, and I'm going to stamp that in Blackberry Bliss. Now you don't want too much ink, so you don't want the ink bubbling, because if you do that you're going to get too much ink and it's going to fill in the details. But again, you want enough ink. So let me just stamp that off on there. That's looking quite good. Maybe a little bit more ink. Happens when you stamp on camera. Let's give it a go. It's the worst that can happen. There we go. So we've got some depth in there. I'm going to add some good old faithful wink of Stella. Background noise is builder trying to repair next door's roof, in case you're wondering. I was almost beside myself because this is my last full tube of wink of Stella until my order arrives. Whether I shall get to the end before I actually receive it, who knows. So that's the rose. I don't think the camera's going to pick the wink of Stella up, if I'm honest, but it is on there. And then we're going to attach that using just 4 Stampin Dimensionals. I'm just going to put that on there. You've got a little note card. Ideal if you just need a little thank you card or just want to send somebody a little note. And they also make really nice little gifts if you package them up in these little pizza boxes. That's going to be the subject for my next video, so I'm not going to go into any more details about those. But these are brilliant. Love them. Now I just want to make the envelope a bit pretty. Probably shouldn't have shut that, but it's probably quite dangerous if I don't. I'm going to off stamp that. I'm just going to stamp that into the corner. That gives you the little bit of detail of the rose on the envelope. So that's that done. I'm just going to clean off my stamp. This is the new chamois that's available, and I've got to say I love this. Baby wipes work really well, but I get my hands absolutely plastered in colour, whereas with that, for me this is quite clean. Quite impressed. So that's that one. Another idea that again I can't take credit for, I saw this on a Stampin Up YouTube video, and it was again using the Healing Hugs stamp set, but this actually features two colours. It features Highland Heather as the main colour, and then there's some gorgeous grape that's been added on the outside, just using a stamping dauber or dauber, whatever your preferred pronunciation of that. I have to say on the Stampin' Up video they used a combination of yellowy orangey colours which were lovely, and they actually used three. Step too far for me. I'm going to start with two and work my way up, but I thought this was quite a pretty colouring. And again here you can see the thank you, that bold thank you from the Delightful Daisy stamp set. This is a piece of Petal Promenade designer series paper. Again, this beautiful grey. It sort of just highlights the mauve and lavender type colours from this. The envelope, it's going to go with that. So I'm probably going to regret this, but I'm going to give this a go on camera. But the card is proof that it can be done. So I'm starting with the Highland Heather. Stamp that onto, no, I don't want to stamp that onto that. Forget that. I want this. I've said this before, the new pads are so easy to open, but I keep trying to open them using it the old way. That feeling that your brain hurts, I think that's sort of where I am today, if I'm honest. It's the only time I had this week to do the video, but I had this sort of thought that whatever was going to go wrong probably was. And there you go, as I've said before, it's real life. So I've just gone around the outside. Just going to put a little bit of extra colour in the middle. Just see what that looks like. I have no idea, if I'm honest, what it's going to come out like. I do one up there. Yeah, I'm not unhappy with that. Can you see the difference in the colours there? You've got the paler colour there, and then you've got the darker colour being picked out on the outside leaves there. So again, of course, I need some Wink of Stella. Just going to put that just randomly. It's not, I'm not going to fill the whole lot out, because it can act like a blender pen and then you finish up losing some of your detail. So I'm basically picking the darker colour out so that when it's on a card front it will just catch the light, just give it that little bit of shimmer, because life needs a bit of shimmer, I think. Has to be done. Just a bit in the middle. Again, you're not going to see that on camera, but it will shimmer when it's on the card or the box. That's now ready to just fussy cut around and then add to the project like I've done here. So that's just a little bit of information about Distinktive stamp sets. I'm sure as time goes on there will be more and more added to the collection even. I've seen some lovely cards made with some of the other stamp sets. I don't actually have them myself at the moment, but I have seen some really beautiful cards made with them. So it just gives a little bit of extra dimension to your cards. Again, I'm cleaning that so I don't hopefully make a mess of myself. If you've not got one of these or something similar and you're relying like I did on baby wipes, I seriously recommend that. They are really a great addition. So it's almost time for me to go, but there's just a couple of things I wanted to say. There's two promotions being run at the moment during August by Stampin' Up. The first one is, I think it's called Bonus Days, but basically for every £45 that you spend on products, so £45 excluding postage and packing, for every, repeating myself here, for every £45 that you spend in August on products, excluding P&P, you will receive a voucher in September, at the beginning of September, for £4.50, and that can be used against your shopping during the month of September. So the voucher is delivered to you by email, so it's essential that you do have an email so that the voucher can be sent to you. That's the only way of actually getting that. So that's one. It's very easy, I've got to say, to spend £45, and then you've got another £4.50 to spend on something else, or to put towards something else next month. So that's that one. The other one is a limited time product promotion, and it's this one. It's Colour Your Season, and basically these are products that are available throughout the month of August or up until stocks run out, and that includes a stamp set which features various elements of the seasons of the year. There's a coordinating stitch season framelit set, and you can buy the framelits and the stamp set as a bundle, saving yourself 10%. And there's also a new or a different assortment of watercolour pencils. There's some really nice colours in there, some of the new ones: Gorgeous Grape, Granny Green Apple, Balmy Blue, and some of our favourites, the Flirty Flamingo, Garden Green, Night of Navy. Now these may become available at a later catalogue, but for the time being, and I'm talking about the watercolour pencils here, for the time being they are only available during this month or while stocks last. So if watercolour pencils is your thing and you fancy that, then now is the time to buy them. All the details of these are on my online shop, so if you want to head on over there, you'll find more details about that. I will put a link to my shop at the end of the video. If you've enjoyed the video, then just give me a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to my channel, then please do so. That will just mean that you get notified when I upload another video, so you then get the chance to have a look, or not, as the case may be. Anyway, thanks ever so much for taking the time out to join me and watch this video, and until next time, I will say goodbye.